would like this pen? Hey, why don't you send it to Jack Smith? A deranged person.
What do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith for his actions?
I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting.
He is guilty of those 2 indictments, and no bias or anything else ever was involved.
Not just willing, asked to come in and do a public hearing. And instead we're having a deposition behind closed doors because this chairman, this administration, this president, these Republicans want to hide from the American people the results of this investigation.
Made an excellent decision in not allowing Jack Smith to testify publicly, because had he done so, it would have been absolutely devastating to the president and all the president's.
Former Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith told lawmakers in a private session on December 17th that his investigative team had gathered evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, showing that President Donald Trump had criminally conspired to overturn the 2020 election results. Smith provided private testimony to the Republican-led House Judiciary Committee following months of disclosures from Trump-appointed Justice Department officials and Republican lawmakers who aimed to discredit his probe and support Trump's claims that the cases were politically motivated. In 2023, Jack Smith and his team had secured indictments accusing Trump of illegally retaining classified documents after his first term and attempting to overturn his 2020 election loss. Both cases were dropped after Trump's 2024 election victory, citing Justice Department policy against prosecuting a sitting president. If asked today whether to prosecute a former president on the same facts, I would do so, regardless of whether the president was a Republican or Democrat, Smith told the committee, according to excerpts of his opening statement reviewed by Reuters. During an interaction with the press, Lanny Breuer, Jack's attorney, said that he is showing tremendous courage as he testifies on the Trump probe.
Jack Smith looks forward today into answering the committee's questions into his investigation into President Trump's alleged attempt to unlawfully overturn the 2020 presidential election and his possession and secured the classified documents at his social club in Palm Beach. In today testifying before this committee, Jack is showing tremendous courage in light of the remarkable and unprecedented retribution campaign against him by this administration and this White House. Let's be clear. Jack Smith, a career prosecutor, conducted this investigation based on the facts and based on the law and nothing more. Thank you.
Smith's appearance followed a subpoena from Republican Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, chair of the House Judiciary Committee, for a closed-door deposition. Smith had requested that the hearing be public. Republican lawmakers have expressed concern over reports that investigators sought information from various conservative organizations as part of the probe into Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Investigators also obtained limited cell phone data from 8 Republican senators around the time of the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Smith emphasized that his team followed Justice Department policies and was not influenced by politics. He explained that the records collected were relevant to complete a comprehensive investigation. President Trump and his associates tried to contact members of Congress as part of their criminal scheme, urging them to delay certification of the 2020 election, Smith said. I did not select those members. President Trump did.
To ending the weaponization of government, to holding those accountable who participated in the weaponization of government.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening? Deranged Jack Smith. We're going to call it the deranged Jack Smith signing or bill. Go ahead.
One law firm that provided pro bono legal services to the special counsel's office under Jack Smith's leadership was Covington & Burling. As a result of those actions, we're now going to be suspending and putting under review the security clearances for the attorneys and employees at that firm who worked with Jack Smith's team. And we're going to continue holding the people who were responsible for the weaponization of government and who supported it accountable for what they did.
And you'll be doing this with other firms as time goes by, right?
We're looking at sort of the whole panoply of options.
The weaponization of our system by law firms, even pro bono work they're doing just in order to clog up government, stop government. And nobody knows about it more than me. And hopefully that'll never happen again.
So the Covington and Burlington?
Covington and Burlington.
Mr. President, may I ask you a question about Europe? So long term, do you plan to maintain the number of U.S. troops?
Wait, I just want to savor this one, please. Who would like this pen? Hey, why don't you send it to Jack Smith? He's a deranged person.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who aren't Jack Smith for his actions?
I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting.
Democrats are pushing for Jack Smith's testimony and full investigation report to be made public.
Because of the Supreme Court and because of the timing of it and him becoming president. He is guilty of those two indictments, and no bias or anything else ever was involved.
What reason have you been given as to why it's not public?
What was given, this is about volume 2, is right now the judge is still prohibited from being public, but none of the reasons that previously existed for that still remain. The thing I wanted to mention is that I asked the special counsel, Mr. Smith, what the impact would be on our democracy if somebody that interfered with an election, with a free and fair election, obstructed an election in that way, what would the toll be? And I was struck by his word that he used, catastrophic. Catastrophic. And in being unable to present to the public and be transparent about exactly what was in his report, how he came to his conclusions, he mentioned time and time again that he was extremely upset with the vilification, the mischaracterizations of things that he has said or who he is, and mentioned that he really wanted to make sure to protect his prosecutors as well as the line agents. He mentioned the FBI agents, others who had been involved in these investigations who had tremendous expertise. And I asked him what the toll was of that, of not being able to correct the mischaracterizations, of having people being vilified in the way that this administration is doing, that this chairman has done, that Republicans have done. And he said that it would drive people away. He said it's deeper than even witness intimidation. It would drive people away from public service. And I think it's really important that we understand that the special counsel over and over again said that he was willing, that he asked, not just willing, asked to come in and do a public hearing. And instead we're having a deposition behind closed doors because this chairman, this administration, this president, these Republicans want to hide from the American people the results of this investigation. And that is true of the release of the Volume 2 information. We don't have that. I wish we did. There is no reason to keep that from the American people. There's also no reason to keep Jack Smith from testifying, as other special counsels have done, every other special counsel has done, to the American people about what was in his investigation and why he came to the conclusions that he did. I'm going to pass it to our ranking member.
All right, thanks. I just want to say that Chairman Jordan made an excellent decision in not allowing Jack Smith to testify publicly, because had he done so, it would have been absolutely devastating to the president and all the president's men involved in the insurrectionary activities of January the 6th. So, I can't get into any further particulars, but I'll just say that Jack Smith has just spent several hours schooling the Judiciary Committee on the professional responsibilities of a prosecutor and the ethical duties of a prosecutor, and he's a sensational and honorable public servant, and we are lucky to have him in the bar in the United States.
Could you describe at least what his message, Jack Smith's message was generally to the committee?
No, again, you know, he's being answered. He's been asked, and he's answering questions. So he didn't come with any particular message. But I'll just say that he's answered every single question to the satisfaction of any reasonable-minded person in that room.
Any conclusion that he reached at the end of his investigation that he disclosed with the committee in the deposition?
Well, his report speaks for itself in terms of January the 6th and the indictments that were handed down. And the other report should be public. I mean, that's just absolutely aberrational that it's not public. Just like his testimony should be public. Every other special counsel has been able to come here and testify. Robert Mueller's been able to testify. Robert Hur's been able to testify. All the special counsels and independent counsels have come in. And his second report on the retention of classified documents and what crimes may have been committed should also be released.